I sat in the dim corner of the investigator's office. The blinds were half drawn, letting in narrow stripes of pale morning light. Each stripe cut across the dust in the air like thin silver blades. My hands were cold against the armrests. My heartbeat felt louder than the ticking clock on the wall. The investigator, a man with stern eyes and a calm voice, placed a file on the desk. The folder landed with a soft thud that sent a chill straight through my chest. He looked at me without speaking. His silence pressed on my shoulders like an invisible weight. I swallowed hard. My throat felt tight, dry, and oddly painful. I told him to begin. He opened the file slowly, as if he already knew the pages would hurt me. He slid the first photograph across the desk. The edges curled slightly, worn from handling. It showed my ex-husband Daniel standing outside a small bookstore. The color of his jacket was faded, and his hair looked longer than I remembered. He appeared peaceful, almost fragile, as if the world around him no longer demanded anything from him. My breath trembled. The investigator waited, watching my reaction with unreadable eyes. The room felt smaller suddenly, its air heavier. He continued flipping through the photos. Daniel sitting alone on a park bench. Daniel walking through a market with a paper bag in his arms. Daniel writing something in a small black notebook. Each image carried a quiet loneliness that stung the inside of my chest. I felt a pressure build behind my eyes. I blinked it away, refusing to let tears fall. I asked to hear the rest. The investigator closed the folder. He folded his hands together and leaned forward slightly. His voice dropped lower, steady, almost gentle. He told me Daniel had moved away shortly after our divorce. He told me my ex-husband had cut ties with everyone who reminded him of me. He told me Daniel had changed his entire life in a way that felt deliberate, almost desperate. The investigator paused. I felt my pulse throb against the base of my throat. A cold wave moved through my stomach. He took a deep breath before continuing. He said Daniel rarely spoke to anyone. He said Daniel lived in a tiny apartment above the bookstore, alone, always alone. He said there was something else too. I gripped the armrests until my knuckles turned pale. A low hum filled my ears, drowning out the clock, the traffic, and even the investigator's breathing. Only my own heartbeat remained. He opened a smaller envelope. He placed a single sheet of paper in front of me. His fingertips lingered on the corner, as if unsure whether I was ready. The paper contained a copy of a journal entry. Daniel's handwriting trembled across the page in tired strokes. I recognized it instantly. My chest tightened as if someone had wrapped iron bands around my ribs. The investigator told me the bookstore owner had found the notebook. He told me she had kept it safe. She had hoped someone would come looking for him one day. The words on the page blurred slightly as my eyes traced the lines. The entry mentioned my name. It mentioned the day he discovered my betrayal. It described the moment he realized he had lost me, and the moment he understood he had never been enough for me. My breath came shallow and sharp. Each sentence pierced deeper than the last. The room grew unbearably quiet. At the bottom of the page, a final line stretched across the paper. A line written shakier than the rest. A line that made the air freeze around me. The investigator watched my face closely. His expression shifted, almost as if he regretted giving me the truth. He seemed to brace himself for the moment I reached the last words. And as my eyes moved over that trembling final sentence, I felt something inside me collapse in a way I had never felt before. A way that made my hands shake, my breath hitch, and my entire world tilt into a cold, unforgiving silence. Write the ending section or episode you want next, and I will continue from this exact moment without repeating anything.